Is this the polo compromise? Okay. Yeah. I'm here. No, I just got a new job at the Coma Free Foundation, so we're doing that every week. Yeah, so much money. But yeah, that's like what's new. Been biking a lot. What about you? No! It's good. That's honestly how I feel. Like lately it's just like, I'm just gonna like take a break and try to relax as much as possible. Because summer's like gonna be huge. Yeah. I got, so I'm a program specialist there. So I'm helping with the camping program and gonna do some grant writing for them. Yeah. So the ultimate goal is to like pivot out of the comms world and go into urban forestry. Yeah. Yeah. I'm excited. It's been super fun. How's the farm? How's the farm? You got a water. Oh my god. Does the grass stick to them? Okay. That's really cool. Yep. I'm about to resign my lease. I can't beat the price. It's unheard of. Yeah. I know some friends just bought a house where they just have, I remember like seeing the tour and I was like, oh, how do you pay for it? It's so hard right now. Yeah. Yep. Is this still the same or is it updated? Okay. Do all the speakers work now? That's good. I'm gonna sit down and get back up. Good to see ya.
As we begin, I invite you to join me in a spirit of prayer. God of grace, breath is our first prayer, and we take a moment to pause, to breathe, to shake out any nerves, and to be present to this experience. Filled with gratitude and anticipation, we celebrate a milestone in the lives of these beloved graduates. In these sacred moments and rituals, we honor and acknowledge the unique journeys that have led each graduate to this day, the result of hard work, courage, curiosity, resilience, and endurance. We give thanks for all who have been part of their learning: families, teachers, classmates, advisors, coaches and mentors, and friends. And we also give thanks for those who have gone before, ancestors on whose shoulders we stand as individuals and as community. May this ceremony be a time of inspiration and reflection and celebration as we honor the past, embrace the present, and move into the future with courage and hope. Amen.
Good evening, honored guests, faculty and staff, and the class of 2025. Welcome to the 2025 Commencement Ceremony of Pacific Lutheran University's College of Natural Sciences. I'm Dr. Joanna Gregson, Provost and Senior Vice President for Academic Affairs. In a moment, we will hear greetings from our university president. But first, I would like to introduce the people sitting on the stage. As I read each of their names, I invite them to give a little wave so you know who they are. The Reverend Jen Rood, University Pastor; Ann Alman, Dean of the College of Natural Sciences and Professor of Biology; Kurt Malloy, Vice President and Chief Strategic Officer of HDT Bio, PLU Class of 1988, and today's commencement speaker; Matthew Helmer, member of the Class of 2025, and today's first student commencement speaker; Justin Paul Singh, member of the Class of 2025, and today's second student commencement speaker; Matt Smith, Chair and Associate Professor of Biology; Tina Sikowski, Chair and Associate Professor of Chemistry; Lori Murphy, Chair and Professor of Computer Science; Mike Behrens, Director of Environmental Studies and Professor of Biology; Alex Leckler, Chair and Associate Professor of Earth Science; Ksenia Simic-Muller, Chair and Professor of Mathematics; Brett Underwood, Chair and Professor of Physics; Tiffany Artime, Chair and Associate Professor of Psychology; Joanna Royce Davis, Vice President for Student Life; Alan Belton, the President of Pacific Lutheran University; Peter Davis, University Marshal and Associate Professor of Earth Science. And now I ask you to welcome Alan Belton, PLU's President, as he brings you greetings.
We respectfully acknowledge that as we convene today, we do so on the ancestral lands of the Puyallup, Nisqually, Steilacoom, and Squaxin Island peoples. We pay respect to the first peoples who gathered here, to elders past and present, and to all indigenous peoples of the region, and thank them for generations of stewardship of our natural resources. Graduates, all of us here, your families and friends, PLU faculty and staff, the PLU Board of Regents, and our honored guests, join together in congratulating you on achieving your bachelor's, master's, or doctoral degrees, and in your case, your bachelor degrees. Today is not just a celebration of academic achievement. It is also a testament to your determination, your adaptability, and your unyielding spirit in the face of challenge. The path to graduation is not always smooth or straightforward. Some of you may have had a journey fraught with obstacles and challenges that tested your resilience, your determination, and your unwavering commitment to achieving your goals. Those challenges may have been academic in nature, as you grappled with demanding coursework, navigated complex concepts, and pushed yourselves to excel in the classroom, the studio, or the lab. For others, challenges may have been personal, as you juggled the demands of family responsibilities or health issues while pursuing your education. And of course, let's not forget that some of you began your journey at PLU as first-year students in the fall of 2020, at the height of a global pandemic. This group represents the last of the plus-year students, or what we affectionately call superlutes. Superlutes. Your PLU experience was disrupted in historic ways, but you have made the most of your plus years by achieving additional majors or minors, by studying away, by gaining internship experience, or simply relieving some of the stresses of your college education by taking a lighter academic load. If you are a plus year superlute, will you please raise your hand so we can recognize your resilience and show you how proud we are? Awesome. For all of the members of the graduating class, I want to take this moment to thank you and to recognize your accomplishments and the indelible and positive impression you have left on the entire PLU community. You are the embodiment of PLU's mission-inspired commitment for thoughtful inquiry, service, leadership, and care for people, the community, and the earth. The class of 2025 includes graduates from 52 academic programs, with 11% of our undergraduates achieving 2 or more majors. You have an average GPA of 3.55. Well done. This class includes nearly 260 individuals, or 31% of the entire graduating class, who are, like me, the first in their family to attend college. I applaud you for that. And 105 of our graduating class are either military affiliated or U.S. veterans. Yes. In the College of Natural Sciences specifically, nearly a third of you studied away during your time at PLU, and a whopping 57% are graduating with honors today. These students' academic journeys reflect our commitment to global education, the academic rigor our faculty bring to their classes, and the liberal arts tradition of educating students for both depth and breadth of understanding the world around them and your place in it. As we celebrate this graduating class, we also honor your accomplishments and recognize the mark you have left on PLU. Thank you for learning with us, for challenging us to think in new and different ways, and for your commitment to making the world a better place for all of us and for those who will come after us. Congratulations to each and every one of you. Thanks.
Today, we'd like to take a moment to celebrate the full range of activities and achievements of our natural sciences graduates. As I read each of the following, please stand as you are able to be recognized if it applies to your time at PLU, and then be seated as I read the next one. I ask that the audience please hold their applause until the end. To begin, please stand if you have participated in undergraduate research at PLU, off campus, or have completed an internship during your time at PLU. You have presented or participated in a professional meeting or competition, either externally or internally at PLU. You have worked for a program in the College of Natural Sciences as a tutor, a teaching assistant, a stockroom worker, a grader, or any other type of student worker. You have studied away during your time at PLU. You have competed as a student athlete on behalf of PLU. You have participated in either ASPLU or SAC, PLU's student governance bodies. You have participated at PLU as a musician, theater or dance performer, or artist. You have participated in a student club at PLU. You are the first in your family to graduate from college. You are a DJS Fellow or a Reiki Scholar. You are a member of an honor society. Finally, you are a STEM Scholar or a CS STEM Scholar. Congratulations on your many varying achievements during your time here at PLU. We are so proud of what you have accomplished. Our student commencement speakers were selected through a nomination and application process and were asked to share reflections on behalf of the graduating class. Today, we will hear from two student speakers. First, Matthew Helmer is a candidate for a bachelor's degree in both mathematics and physics with minors in music and computer science. Matthew has taken an active role in the math community, engaging with faculty outside of class, tutoring STEM students, speaking at conferences, and serving as the founder of the PLU Math Club. During his time at PLU, Matthew also participated in the Consortium for Mathematics and its Applications, COMAPS, annual international math modeling competitions, with his team placing in the top 5 among 1,000 teams from across the world. Matthew is in his element, operating at the intersection of many communities, making creative connections between STEM and the arts, and seeking answers to the difficult issues facing today's world. He tackles every task with determination, rooted in equity and justice. Beyond PLU, Matthew is headed to a PhD program at Montana State University, where he will continue to study mathematical physics with the goal of moving into research and teaching. Please welcome Matthew Helmer.
Hi. Good evening, everyone. My name is Matthew Helmer, and I'm one of the last of the plus year students mentioned earlier. I'm also a math and physics double major with minors in music and computer science, and I would like to welcome you to PLU's Spring Commencement Ceremony for the College of Natural Sciences. Graduates, I hope that you are sharing this moment tonight with family, friends, and loved ones. But if you don't have anyone here to tell you this, then please allow me. You're a friend of mine, and I'm proud of you for making it here. Congratulations. Yeah. You fought through many challenges, well, there's that word again, to get here. I recognize the adversity you faced and how in standing up for yourself, you grew and changed for the better. I see you today the strongest you've ever been, standing triumphant over the specter of so many difficult challenges. On the subject of challenges, I recently was reflecting about a challenge implicitly imposed in one of my favorite quotes by the theoretical physicist Richard Feynman. It wouldn't be one of my speeches if I didn't mention him, I suppose. Nearly everything is really interesting if you go into it deeply enough. If I could live 1,000,000 lives, I would spend each moment immersing myself in as many subjects and niche topics as possible. I would study chemistry more. I really wish I'd studied chemistry more. I wish I could have connected what I learned there with my experiences in algebra and physics. I would learn more languages, and I would dig into linguistics to discover what makes them similar and what makes them different. I would sit with 1,000,000 problems, seeking to discover more of this great tapestry that we exist on and find ourselves weaving each day. Now, let me frame the implicit challenge in this quote, posed in the quote for you explicitly. What are you going to do, and what are you going to learn now that you're leaving PLU? You're about to head out into the world, continually tackling the problem of, what am I going to do? I don't believe this is a small feat whatsoever. So, to make this task a tad bit easier for you all, I'm going to give you one of the greatest problem-solving techniques that you can employ that I've picked up in my time here at PLU. Break large problems down into small ones first. Tackle those small problems as you go. In reflecting on this larger problem, I'm sure we could enumerate a great number of sub-problems, and we could order them in order of importance, but I find 3 of these that I'll tell you about now to be of the utmost importance. First, I challenge you to never stop being curious about the world around you. Let curiosity and wonder drive you forward. Find the things that astound you, which draw you in, and let them carry you across frontiers you cannot yet comprehend. Do good science, with experimentation being the ultimate test for truth. The world is at our fingertips these days, so let your curiosity, your imagination, and your passions coalesce into the will to learn something no one has learned yet. Second, I challenge you to give voice to your experiences. Your experiences molded you into who you are. You're unique. No one can take away from what you've picked up on this journey so far. Inspired by your own experiences, I believe that you'll be able to draw connections that no one else can, to find beauty where others see mess or hear noise. And you'll be much more capable of living a life that is wholly your own. You'll find the questions and answers that you will embody and surmount. So learn, know, and advocate for yourself. And third, I challenge you to be strong, active world citizens. You've peeked beyond the veil. You've seen the circumstances and the struggles we face today. You see what's going on. It's a pretty disheartening time to be growing up and entering the world, isn't it? But you've also seen each other. You've seen cooperation. You've seen the power of unity. In science and in life, champion collective action. Work together. Learn with others to build a better future. These are the challenges I present to you today. And along with these, I tell you this: take joy in what you do. Find the problems that fascinate you and don't be afraid to dive into them. Let your passions guide you. Share what you've learned. Take inspiration from others, because everything is beautiful when you dig into it deeply enough. So, rest, celebrate, and when you're ready, continue to build your one wild and precious life. Congratulations, PLU Class of 2025. Congratulations, Lutz.
Thank you, Matthew, for sharing your thoughts with us today. Next, we will hear from Justin Paul Singh, who is a candidate for a BA in religion and a BS in chemistry with a biochemistry emphasis. During his time at PLU, Justin Paul has been an active leader in our scientific, musical, and spiritual communities. In his position as the coordinator for religious and spiritual diversity with campus ministry, he excelled at bringing students, staff, and faculty together to have courageous conversations, to share food and faith, to celebrate old and new traditions, and to center joy. It was this work and his ability to forge meaningful connections with others that earned him PLU's Emerging Leader Award. As a violinist in PLU's symphony orchestra, Justin Paul has played in musicals and operas, performed at Benaroya Hall in PLU's Christmas concert series, and served as a violin substitute with the Olympia Symphony Orchestra. His diverse experiences and interests at PLU have laid a strong foundation for Justin Paul to flourish. As he graduates, he hopes to continue to pursue his goal of earning an MD PhD.
Hello. So, if I were to ask you, if you were able to do something in the world, knowing you could not fail, what would you do? If you were to ask me this question on a random Wednesday during OChem, I would probably say graduate, because let's be real, OChem's really difficult. Shout out to Dr. Yakulis. And I also had no clue what I was doing, and it does not get any better. If you were to ask me this question now, after working in the campus ministry office as the coordinator for religious and spiritual diversity, after playing the violin in our symphony orchestra, and after embracing DJS values, I would probably say help our community. I'm the son of immigrant parents, a first-generation student, and like many of you are as well, just figuring out my life as I continue to live, watching others learn and grow as I do myself. As the coordinator for religious and spiritual diversity in the campus ministry office, I was given the opportunity to celebrate Diwali and Holi, two important holidays in the South Asian traditions. Being the host for these celebrations, I witnessed people learning about a tradition that they didn't know about. I saw happy faces snacking on laddus and chai. I saw people talking about why we throw colored powder for Holi. And I saw South Asian students feeling celebrated in our very small community. Additionally, I learned what being an advocate means. That it not only means educating ourselves, but also celebrating one another for our individual uniqueness. These aren't just events. They are spaces where people feel celebrated, connected, and curious. That is a community that we should all aim to nurture. Within our identities, we each hold values that are important to ourselves. For me, that meant being involved in our symphony orchestra as a violinist. We'd rehearse for nearly 3 hours, 2 nights a week, and I'd have to force myself to become human the next morning and catch my 8 a.m. anatomy class. And you may have seen me drinking multiple Celsius energy drinks at a time. It's really bad. But as a turbaned, sick violinist, I didn't grow up seeing myself on that kind of stage, where Western classical music was the standard. Every time I picked up my violin, it felt like a performance of representation. I was playing a role, presenting a single version of myself to be seen. Today, as we come together to celebrate our accomplishments, I want us to reflect on the importance of being seen for who we are, of building community, and of showing up for each other in all ways, big and small. I want us to celebrate our humanity for each other and our ability to be human each day. The forces between those of us, did not stutter. The forces between those of us in class of the 2020-25 are quite strong, from coaching each other on our capstones to supporting each other through our research and presentations. What I'll remember about us is that we showed up for each other. We came here not just to learn, but to listen, to question, to build something together. We leave with more than just degrees. We are leaving with stories, friendships, and the ability to make space for others wherever we go. I want to divert from my script for a quick second, and I want to share these two words from the first line of the Holy Book of Sikhism, the Guru Granth Sahib Ji, which are Nirbhau and Nirvair, without fear and without hate. In the world that we live in now, that's very diverse in thought. It's important that we live and lead with love for each other and for ourselves. If I've learned anything, it's that representation matters, presence matters, and you matter. Congratulations, class of 2025. Thank you for showing up.
Thank you, Justin Paul, for sharing your thoughts with us today. At commencement, it is PLU's tradition to extend special recognition to our retiring faculty. This year, one of our faculty colleagues from the College of Natural Sciences has elected to enter retirement. Dr. Romy Haberly, Associate Professor of Biology. I invite Dr. Haberly to stand and be recognized. Dr. Haberly has been an important member of the PLU community since joining us in 2009. She holds a PhD in botany from the University of Texas at Austin, an MS in biology from the University of Northern Arizona, and an MS in library science from the University of Arizona. A nimble and innovative educator, she has consistently updated her teaching for equity and inclusion and is known for leading engaging discussions and field trips fueled by her passion for student education. Over the years, Dr. Haberly's research has evolved from comparative plant genomics to molecular systematics to, more recently, regional biogeography, where she currently focuses on threatened rare plants and communities in western Washington prairies and wetlands. On campus, she has applied her expertise by mapping locations and densities of camas and other native prairie species on our former golf course to facilitate planning for our conservation easement, as well as engaging students in documenting plant species on our wooded campus hillside. Dr. Haberly has played leading roles in curating the Irene Creso Herbarium and the Carol Shuffles Quigg Greenhouse, vital resources for teaching and research. With a focus on native plants, she has also spearheaded invasive weed cleanups and led volunteers on tending campus native plant demonstration gardens. She has also led plant walks for students and PLU guests and has collaborated with area tribes to facilitate camas harvests at PLU. Beyond PLU, Dr. Haberly has been active in South Sound Prairie conservation and local park restoration and education. She has participated in community garden leadership, has tended public planters in North Tacoma, and has contributed expertise to Tacoma and Lakewood Parks projects and planning committees. She continues to conduct research throughout the forests and grasslands of the Pacific Northwest, including a new prairie project in South Pierce County. Currently training in wetland delineation, she remains dedicated to Puget Sound conservation. To Dr. Haberly, I speak on behalf of your students and colleagues by saying, we will miss you, and you have made PLU a better place for generations to come. For all you have done, we say thank you. And now, I am honored to introduce Kurt Malloy as our 2025 College of Natural Sciences commencement speaker. Kurt Malloy is the Senior Vice President for Strategic Operations at HDT Bio, a life science organization striving to promote health and well-being for everyone in the world, independent of where they live. Kurt is also an adjunct professor at the Seattle University Institute for Public Service, where he has taught a course on global health for nearly 20 years to students in the Masters of Public Administration program. Kurt completed his undergraduate studies in chemistry and computer science at Pacific Lutheran University, obtained a Master's of Public Health from Columbia University's Mailman School of Public Health, and earned a Juris Doctor with a focus in intellectual property from the Seattle University School of Law. Kurt is fluent in Spanish and is particularly passionate about Latin America, social and health equity, and planetary health. Please join me in welcoming Kurt to the podium to share his reflections with the graduating class.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. What an honor it is to stand here with you today at this moment of celebration, this moment of reflection, of ambiguity, of stress, of freedom, and at this moment of possibility. I am deeply grateful to the faculty of the PLU College of Natural Sciences for inviting me back to a place that shaped so much of who I am. I also want to thank my wife, Anna, whose love and steady presence make everything possible. Te amo, mi amor. And to our two children, Tomas and Juliana, you both inspire me every day with your curiosity, your humor, and your hearts. Los amamos. And finally, a special thank you to my dear friend Britt, who joined me today. Your friendship means the world to me. To the graduating class of 2025, congratulations. You have crossed a finish line that is also a starting line. And you've done so in a time that demands much of you, of your courage, your creativity, and your compassion. I have many hopes for you, class of 2025, and a few suggestions. And to the parents and family of these graduates, I only have hopes for you. It would be presumptuous of me to provide any suggestions. As it turns out, my wife and I are about to send our son, Tomas, off to college. And I have to be honest, we have no freaking idea what we're doing. In fact, we would appreciate your suggestions. Class of 2025, you are in a unique moment. Imagine two cones that have been placed point to point. You are in that one place where past uncertainties collapse into fleeting clarity, that precise moment in space-time that inevitably expands again into new unknowns, new challenges, and new opportunities. I want to begin with a confession. When I sat where you are today, I had no idea what I was going to do. I was clueless. In that uncertainty, in that uncomfortable, ambiguous moment, I took a chance, many chances, in fact. I chose disruption over clarity. I worked 2 jobs, saved what I could, and moved to the highlands of Guatemala, not because I had a master plan, but because I needed time to explore and reflect. So I learned Spanish, and I volunteered for nearly 2 years in a rural medical clinic, trying to be useful, while simultaneously asking big questions about what kind of life would be most meaningful. The interesting thing about working with the community in Guatemala is that it changed my paradigm of what a life well lived looked like. You know, we often talk about ambition as a personal trait, the drive to succeed, to achieve, to stand out, to earn an income, and to gain the respect of our colleagues and professional community. That kind of ambition is powerful. It's essential, in fact. Personal ambition propels us forward, helps us reach our goals. It unlocks our potential. But there's another kind of ambition, one that doesn't always get the spotlight, collective ambition. It's this type of ambition that asks not just what can I achieve, but what can we achieve together? Collective ambition is the instinct to lift others as we climb, to shape a world where success is not a zero-sum game, and to recognize that the measure of a life well lived is not only what we accomplish individually, but also how our actions ripple outward, strengthening our families, our communities, expanding opportunity, and building something better for those who follow. In fact, I have the perfect example of collective ambition for you, class of 2025. Reflect for a moment on the path you are on right now and ask yourself, how did this path come to be? It may seem unique to you, but aren't there hints of other travelers who have come this way before? Have others given you sustenance for this trip? The provisions you've accumulated for this journey, are they really yours alone? Have others shared in your stresses and your dreams? Parents, faculty, family, community, aren't you at this very moment largely the product and beneficiary of collective ambition? My path from Guatemala was a bit complicated, but it included many scary steps that left me wondering if at some point I would fail spectacularly. I moved to New York to attend Columbia University School of Public Health, which was kind of a big deal for a kid from Puyallup, Washington. I lived and worked in New York City and Washington, D.C., leveraging my Spanish and practicing my newly honed skills in epidemiology and global health. Ultimately, I moved back to this glorious Pacific Northwest and worked at the University of Washington while attending Seattle University School of Law. Since completing law school, I have had the distinct honor of leading the business operations of life science organizations around Seattle. In those roles, I've worked with researchers who studied and developed new products for neglected diseases like leprosy, tuberculosis, HIV, leishmaniasis. I've also worked side by side with cancer researchers. Before I get to my hopes and suggestions for you, class of 2025, I want to share one story about my time here at PLU, about someone who shaped my life in profound and lasting ways. My friend Mark Hansen and I were inseparable. Mark and I taught each other how to juggle, literally, balls, clubs, torches, rings. Juggling became a metaphor in a way for how we tried to keep learning, laughing at our failures, and passing ideas between the two of us. Mark was an art major. He saw the world differently, more vividly. He taught me to live deliberately, to choose the life I want, not just the life that happens to me. While at PLU, Mark and I made a promise to each other. When we died, we decided we would meet again. Mark and I would meet not just in spirit, but in a particular place and at a specific time. We would return to Steuben Hall, 107, Mark's dorm room. We would return not as older versions of ourselves, but as we were decades earlier, at the precise time and place where the promise was made and our motivations were clear. There, from Steuben 107, we would take a trip together. Mark and I shared a deep love for the Lord of the Rings. For our trip, we imagined tracing the footsteps at the Dunedain, wandering the lands between Bree and Rivendell. When Mark died 2 years ago, the first thing I thought was, he'll be there waiting for me at Steuben 107. I'm in no rush to join Mark. I've got work still to do here. But I look forward to, in fact, I yearn for that shared journey. I dream of walking beside Mark again and continuing the conversation we never finished. Thank you.
Kurt, thank you so much for being with us today and for sharing your stories. I'd like to ask the president to come to the podium. We now turn to the conferral of degrees. Candidates for all bachelor's degrees, please stand as you are able. Mr. President, on behalf of the faculty of Pacific Lutheran University, I have the honor of presenting to you the candidates who have been approved for their respective bachelor's degrees.
By virtue of the charter granted by the state of Washington and on the recommendation of the faculty, and by the authority committed to me by the Board of Regents, I hereby confer upon you the respective bachelor's degree for which you are now presented.
Bachelor's candidates, please move your tassels on your caps to the left side. Please be seated, and the degree candidates are requested to come forward as directed by the marshals. For those of you in the audience, as we prepare the students to walk across the stage, please look in your program for our graduates' names. The complete list of students from all 4 colleges and their degrees begin on page 7. I have 2 housekeeping notes before we begin this important element of our ceremony. First, the university has hired photographers to capture professional images of each graduate as they cross the stage. You are, of course, welcome to capture your own photos or videos from your seat. However, we ask that you remain seated as you do so as not to obstruct the view of other audience members. Graduates will soon receive an email to their PLU email address that includes information about how to view and or purchase those photos. And second, in order to ensure that all of our graduates have the meaningful experience they deserve, we ask that our audience members remain seated through the recessional at the conclusion of our ceremony. We begin with bachelor's degree candidates in biology. Dr. Matt Smith, please come forward to begin the reading of the names.
The following students have earned bachelor's degrees in biology. Francine Jagita Addy. Isabella Mary Alves. Jihi An. Emma Grace Anderson Johnson. Ryan Christopher Asplund. Amanda Nicole Botts. Olivia S. Cagle. Samuel Eugene Camacho. Alessandra Bove Cardella. Madeline Piper Klein. Annika Jensen Deasley. Kellyanne Rosaline Douglas. Lydia Grace Flasspuller. Nicholas Tay Gaston. Madison Janine Glass. Bonnie Corinne Goff. Caleb Lee Grass. Haley Chiyomi Inez Harrington. Lucas G. Hempen. Braden Allen Hemphill. Willem James Johnston. Ethan Zachary Kynes. April Kathleen Kelly. Ivan Kristachenko. Sharon Maruga Kamotho. Jasmine Maya Kunda. Abigail Lauren Loss. Tiara Lorene Badia Manala. Togi Jr. Aman Nagor Engar. Blaze Kanoa Masuo Nakamara. Sarah Louise Over. Nicole Mari Parker. Kimberly P. Raimondo. Mackenzie Shaker. Ava Lisette Stefanik. Shannon Patricia Storer. Luke Oak Van Tassel. Caitlin Marie Velpondo. Amy Jo Wagner. Greta Rose Whitney. Melissa Zuniga. We continue with bachelor's degree candidates in chemistry. Dr. Tina Sikowski, please come forward to begin reading of the names.
The following students have earned bachelor's degrees in chemistry. Where's your name? Oh. Camille Maria Martha Rose Boland. Jade Caetano. Danielle Moari Cox. Aiden J. Donnelly. Ronwin Miriam Fleming. Caden Nicole Holquist. Lauren Bailey Lazarte. Grady Douglas Lemma. Titus Philippi Powers. Justin Paul Singh. Elijah Durrell Singleton. Jordan Renee Vaughny. Kayla Renee Williams. And Eva Grace Worth. We continue with bachelor's degree candidates in computer science. Professor Lori Murphy, please come forward to begin the reading of the names.
The following students have earned bachelor's degrees in computer science. Ashley Noelani Pagador Akamine. Evan J. Archer. Braden Lloyd Brooker. Luke Henry Coleman. Zane Davenport. Angel De Jesus Gomez Hummel. Clarissa Nicole Gordon. Yuri Han. Haley Rose Ledenko. Daniel Ma. Robert L. Marty. Ryan Todd Mitchell. Chukebukwa Emmanuel Obikwola. Roderick Ian Percival. Wasif Ramzan. Andrew Sandoval. Vincent Allen Arceo Sison. Tyler Patrick Stratton. Eric Wong Sun. Brody Bruce Willard. Now we will honor bachelor's degree candidates in environmental studies. Dr. Michael Behrens, please come forward to begin the reading of the names.
The following students have earned bachelor's degrees in environmental studies. Sydney Rie Aoki. Dylan Tyler Keegstra. Avery David McGinnis. Sarah Marie Piper. Annika Catherine Stiles. We continue with bachelor's degrees in geosciences. Dr. Alex Leckler, please come forward to begin reading of the names.
The following students have earned bachelor's degrees in geosciences. Austin Forrest Bassler. Annie Lee Latimer. Emma Lane Pennick. We continue with bachelor degree candidates in mathematics. Dr. Ksenia Simic-Muller, please come forward to begin reading of the names.
The following students have earned bachelor's degrees in mathematics, applied mathematics, and mathematics education. Chloe Bolosan Cadalina. Matthew Philip Helmer. Drew Edward Kraft. Brandon Raymond Munson. Wajid Ramzan. Thalisa Melina Saldivar. Samuel E. Shigematsu. Stacy Lorraine Spar. Luke Justin Sunderman. We continue with bachelor's degree candidates in physics. Dr. Brett Underwood, please come forward to begin the reading of the names.
The following students have earned bachelor's degrees in physics and applied physics. Savannah Jean Antonovich. Gabriel Allen Arcus. Brandon John Boniga. Colin Emerson Byer. Adrian Torin Creary. An Ari Quinn. Stefanos Andreas Mavromatis. Roman Elijah Raffles. Madeline Genevieve Rue. Finally, we continue with bachelor's degrees candidates in psychology. Dr. Tiffany Artine, please come forward to begin the reading of the names.
The following students have earned a bachelor's degree in psychology: Samantha Kyle Flores Atienza. Jasper Mustin Bragg. Isabella Marie Calvert Tellez. Nicholas James Carter. Myra Anahi Cortez. Cameron L. Cowan. Olivia Elizabeth Curry. Danielle Diana Fisher. Mary Garcia Corona. Hannah R. Gerke. Madeline Grace Graham. Malia Jane Harris. Benjamin Joseph Helgeson. Morgan Elizabeth Holmes. Jordan Cristalenia Horton. Cassidy Lynn Javernick. Patricia Joanne Morales. M. Nibel. Valentina Andrea Orozco Diaz. Matthew Potter. Crystal Ketone. Brianna Ramirez. Amy Faith Ruiz. Flora Long Saylor. Jelena Marie Samuel. Joshua Sandoval. Daniel David Thomas. Brandy M. Tobin. Shayla Teresa Montatile Viola.
Congratulations, graduates. Audience, please join me in one more round of applause. Graduates, you will soon process out after the platform party and the faculty have left the building. Family and friends, I'm going to give you some special instructions now as we near the conclusion of our ceremony. We will soon be exiting the building the same way you entered. To honor our students and keep the focus on them, we ask that you remain seated until the platform party, then the faculty, and finally, our graduates exit the building. So platform party, faculty, graduates, and then family and friends, okay? As you leave the building, please turn left and walk towards Foss Field, where you can reunite with your graduate. Foss Field is the big grassy field outside to the left. We kindly ask that you do not pause in the lobby or in the covered portico area. Keep walking. Keep walking to Foss Field. This will allow everyone to exit the building in a timely fashion without bottlenecking in the entrance. All graduates from the College of Natural Sciences, you and your guests are invited to join the faculty for a celebration on Foss Field. I now ask President Belton to deliver closing comments.
Almost there. Lutz, graduates, you have set your sights directly on the future, and you all, I am certain, will settle for nothing less than pursuing your dreams to the fullest and serving the greater good. But there will be plenty of time to think about life after PLU. So at this moment, our collective expectation of you is simple. Celebrate. Celebrate what you have achieved today. Celebrate the friendships you have made. Celebrate this milestone. Celebrate being a PLU alumni. Most importantly, celebrate the special people in your life for whom you are thankful. Your family and friends who have provided praise, encouragement, love, and support, and who have believed in you and trusted us with your care. PLU graduates, I ask you to please rise as you are able and thank your family and friends. Family and friends, if it's not clear to you, you may be the last to leave the building today, but you are clearly first in our heart. And now I ask everyone to stand as you are able for our closing prayer and benediction from Pastor Rude.
Graduates, supporters, faculty, staff, and loved ones, as we conclude this commencement ceremony, receive this blessing. May God bless you with wisdom to always keep learning, to stay curious, to imagine possibilities, and to always ask those tough questions. May God bless you with courage, rooted in bold humility, so that you may listen well, speak truth authentically, and care deeply. May God bless you with a spirit of service, so that you may find meaning and purpose in the interconnected web that is strengthened by each member and is transformed by the collective into a powerful force of love. May God bless you with anger at hatred, injustice, and oppression, so that fueled by love, your life might embody wholeness and foster liberation. May God bless you with leadership, so that you may know that leading sometimes means following, being quiet while listening deeply, and sharing power for the good of the whole. May God bless you with fierce hope, so that even in despair or heartache, you may trust that the fire in your heart endures, and know that the world still needs your spark. In and through all things, on this day and all of your days, may God fill each of you with renewing grace and radiant love. Amen.